Yes, people. Yes, people. Welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge 258, here to give you a nice little Chelsea live stream special. Here we go. I had to do two intros quickly because I realized I had made a little tiny mistake, which I had to cheekily, change up quite quickly. But it is what it is. But there we go. I'm not to wait for you guys firstly to come in. Hey, big up Jacob, bro. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Been a good day today. Been relaxing. Excuse me, got a bit of a cold today, so but it is what it is. But listen, man. Hope you're all doing well. Not been that much news, but it is what it is. We just got to move on there. Move on, enjoy ourselves. But the reason why I'm here, I want to talk about a special guest. A guy we all know here very well. That is Romelu Lukaku. But before we do that, I've got some fellow co-hosts that are gonna be with me. Let me bring them up for you. And that is Oliver, bro. How are you doing, bro?
I'm not bad. Just enjoy my weekend.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. Good to
Nice. Nice.
hear. Excuse me. I think you've got a little echo. I don't know if you've got the stream up or something, but
Uh, I'll turn my volume down in my headphones to see if that helps.
yeah. So as we move on, just quickly, I'll just let you guys come in quite quickly. Listen, man, it's not been that much news again, coming out this week, really. Again, other than outgoings and one special guy, again, aka Romelu Lukaku, which we'll discuss in quite a bit of detail today. He's a funny guy, that's for sure. I'll give him that. Honestly, I, I need to wait on him because if I start speaking on him, it's gonna be hilarious. So, like the stuff that's come out about him today and yesterday night is hilarious at best. So you know, what do you? Let's start. You know what? Let's start with some light news, and that is on incomings. Really, let's start with Caicedo. So essentially, with the Caicedo news, nothing's really moved. It's essentially no needles have been moved. Nothing's moved at all. Still. We're still locked in talks. Essentially, nothing else has happened so far, unless something happens like by a miracle right now. While I am streaming right now, then nothing is taking place. Uh, what are your thoughts on that? Because like I do feel like that one is definitely taking a bit too. I feel like that's a bit slow in my opinion. Because clearly, one of the things that I would have liked personally is that I would have loved to have him, in preseason, for the preseason tour, especially. Even though I do know that Brighton and Chelsea are in like a similar tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, it would have been preferable if he'd got him.
No, absolutely.
Mm.
Just get it done, man. Like we're
Mm.
flying out on Monday, and granted, we are on the same kind of like it's this Premier League series, whatever they're calling it.
Yep.
And I believe we actually do face Brighton, so we'll be in the same area at a particular point. But
Mm.
we're flying out on Monday. Our first game is for UK time. It is
Thursday midnight.
It is midnight on Thursday.
Yep.
We need to get this rolling. Like it might be close, but it is kind of dragging. We need to get this done soon because we haven't got a lot of time to waste in terms of this preseason starting very soon.
Yeah, man, that is something that I do agree with, man, because I want this stuff to get sorted out as soon as possible. The longer this stuff takes, the longer, the more likely, maybe a rival club may or may not come in. The other thing is, what Brighton are like, they're being dickheads. So you either have to meet them where they are or just leave the table. Really, it's as simple as that for me. Um, it's going to be quite hard again for you negotiating as well. And then the other thing is that we do know about them is that they're saying they do one deal at a time. And if it is true they're doing one deal at a time, it would be preferable in my eyes to be getting the Caicedo done because it's holding up all of our other transfer business in terms of incomes as well.
I'll be honest. I'm actually not worried that other clubs are going to come in for him. Like, people speculated that Liverpool would, but I think they got written off by Fabrizio today, and also they just weren't going to pay the kind of money that we're talking about, 80 to 100 million. They were never going to pay that for him. So
Right.
I'm not worried about that. We're the only ones interested. It's just about getting him in early enough so that he can acclimatise to the new environment and to the tactics as well.
Fair enough indeed. So, I don't know if there's anything else to talk about in regards to other income as well. Turkey, apparently that's actually official now that the club is targeting excuse me, that the club is targeting Turkey. But again, not much is known about that one. We know there's like a 40 million euro amount that Leon want, or like 50 million euro. But Chelsea thought they can get like a 40 million euro at the end of the day. So again, it's going to be quite interesting to see on that one. What are your thoughts on that, actually?
I'd be happy to do it. I mean, you've got Nkunku for the 10, but you need a backup. And granted, we have Carney, but I think we've said plenty of times. We've said plenty of times that he's probably going to go on loan because he's been done dirty by the managers. It would just be best to not risk that kind of situation happening again. So get him out there, get him some game time, preferably in the Premier League because he is a decent enough player. He was coming off the bench for Villa, so you wouldn't put it past him maybe to get a lower to mid-table kind of loan. And Cherki would be fine. People have questions over his work rate, but he's a young enough player. He'll be able to. You can coach that into him.
Of course, you're 100%. Yeah. They're going to join on Monday with the team. One day fly out. So yes. All right. Look, listen. With me today is another friend of mine. We knew each other from the Matisse days. We're in the same Chelsea group chat. Big up Chopper Life, aka Jared. You know what I'm saying? Got you. How are you doing, bro? What are your thoughts actually quickly on we were just discussing Caicedo and like how it does feel like it's getting a bit too taking too long, essentially. So, what are your thoughts on that quickly before we talk about the other topic we're discussing?
Yeah, man, it's kind of tiring still. I just hope that we get it done before the weekend's over. Because we play Wrexham next week. I think on what is it, Friday or Wednesday? Something like that.
It's on Thursday, midnight.
Yeah.
So we play on Thursday, and Caicedo, we haven't even. Yeah, we have personal terms agreed from months ago, but we've barely agreed a fee. And playing first game, I don't think we have too many preseason games in general. So the preparation for next season, especially when we know our main two center mids are going to be Caicedo and Enzo, God willing. So I just hope we get it done sometime before the tour so that he doesn't just fly into America and he's just there on his ones, just waiting just to get bedded in. I just hope we get it done by tomorrow, Monday, just to make sure that he has enough time to possibly even travel with the team. Even though some players who have already signed long ago are meeting the team in the US. I just hope he gets here like before then, at least before the Wrexham game, at least.
I do agree with that. I also just think we know that the club is going one step at a time in regards to transfers, right? So if that's the case, then we do need to get this Caicedo deal done so we can actually move on to the other targets that we are allegedly targeting. So
I think it's midfield and goalkeeper after.
Yeah, the backup 10, I know. Then whoever's going to be the other midfielder we're going to buy, and then I believe the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper situation is interesting. We'll discuss that in a bit. But we're going to talk about my favorite position. The position that I play the best. You know what I mean? The striker position. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into that one quickly. You know what I mean? People know me as the striker. You know what I mean? Nickname used to be Heaven Strike. So I'm cooking like that. Don't watch that still. But let me just increase this quickly. So I wanted to actually discuss the striking news because quite a bit came out from Fabrizio last night, and that is that both Lautaro and Vlahovic are not on the Chelsea list of strikers. So what is everyone's thoughts on that? Because I'm quite surprised because this has been something. Because I thought this was something that was probably going to happen, that we're going to get a Lautaro, that we're going to get maybe a Vlahovic, because it's been said quite a few times that they were on the list, essentially. But the fact that none of them are on the list, and that leaves Kolo Muani, and even him, because of the fact that we've got another similar profile, Nicholas Jackson, all of these three guys that I've probably been looking at aren't happening then. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm sure you're delighted, bro.
I'm beyond delighted, mate. I am beyond delighted. Listen, man. I think I told you guys on casually, and I think I said this to Jared before in a group chat where essentially what I think is happening is because the fact that the Nicholas Jackson deal got done so fast because they wanted him, that he's probably going to be the main striker for the club. I'm going to be real. He's going to be the main striker. The backup is probably going to be Broha, and if they don't both work and they're basically like crap essentially, you then have Nkuku as your number 9, and then you have the backup 10, who will be Turkey in this case, if he's the one that we pick as your 10, and then that will be it till January. And I do think Ivan Toney's looking like the one we're going to buy.
Would you not rule out that if if Broja and Jackson stink it up in the preseason, would you not rule out, or would you rule out us potentially going in for a striker after seeing how they do, and if they don't do well?
The problem is, Oliver, you look at the market right now, it seems like Vlahovic is going PSG. I don't know if you guys see the news. Lautaro, I don't think the club is going to go for him. In any case, they hate Inter. Essentially, the club hate Inter, so that's not happening. You then got Osimhen and Kolomwani. Like Kolomwani, apparently his price is 90 million euros. Yeah, so I don't know.
Wait, what? No, it's a lot more than that.
No. It's a lot. The a lot more is like next year when they're planning to sell him, when he's playing next to Mbappe. Remember, that was the news that came out. So
next year. Okay.
Yeah. So the news was they were trying to keep him this season, and then for next season when he plays in the Euros, because he's going to be playing next to Mbappe, they can increase his price to 150 to 160 million euros. So that was
the wildest reason I've ever heard.
Yeah, bro, it was a crazy reason. That's what I was trying to say. So obviously those are the two. Those are that one. Then there's Osimhen. I don't know. The club is not going to break the bank for 160 million euros for Osimhen. So he's basically been put out. So who do you get after that? Well, Kane, you can't go after either. So the market's gone.
Yeah. Well, the market is pretty whack, to be honest. I mean, I like the fact that we're looking at Jackson, who, even though he was injured for more than half the season, is statistically the best finisher in La Liga last season. So when you obviously look at stats, and you obviously look at play style and stuff like that, and how the manager's gonna utilize players. I think Poch could do something really good with Jackson, and I think Jackson might be a player that we should trust for now, just at the moment, because one, he's going to come in and want to prove himself, but two, he's one of those low-key signings that it makes sense with the profile they have. I mean, he's obviously a strong, powerful striker with speed and stuff like that, but he's also, if you watched him for Senegal when they were playing, I think, friendlies or AFCON qualifiers or something like that, he's also very good with the ball at his foot. I mean, not to the extent of a lot of other strikers in the world, like your Martinez's and stuff, but he's pretty competent with his feet as well, with the ball at his foot. And that's the type of striker that a lot of the fan base has been begging for, a striker who
100%.
Who's decent with the ball at his foot, who isn't so heavily reliant on like other service.
He can create his own. He can create his own shot essentially.
He can create his own shots, his own chances. Someone who can be a bit self-sufficient when needed, not too self-sufficient and not too over-reliant on anybody else. So I mean, before it was, we had. Last time we had a striker like that was Diego Costa, right? I mean, he was creating chances for himself. He was creating chances for Hazard, for Pedro, for Willian. So we just have to trust him for now. And I'd like to see him in preseason. I hope he does really well in preseason, because preseason is actually just going to be the definition of how our season goes. I mean, just last season we saw how bad our preseason was, and look how bad our season was. But I could understand why our preseason last season was so bad, because of the whole thing that went on through from February straight down to August, when the league started, where Roman's forced out, and the whole squad structure, the whole club structure is just shifted in a matter of weeks. So, and with that level of uncertainty, with bedded into players, and then going into a preseason where we're traveling to 4 different time zones in one country, and then coming back to the UK to play in another completely different time zone, you just have to feel for the players at that point and be like, that just didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean this
So
time we only play on the East Coast, innit? Which is quite good at the very least. So
yeah, but I mean, there's still like two different time zones on the East Coast. But yeah, it's less travel. Well, I mean, not less traveling, but we're traveling to like 4 different cities to play 4 different games in a matter of like 2 weeks, which is still ridiculous. But I mean, as long as they're not too jet lagged with the whole different time zones thing,
they got
then it's all good. I just hope that considering it's not as chaotic with less players for Poch to work with not as many players, him separating the groups and stuff, that preseason would be a lot smoother this time around.
That's lovely. Make sure, guys, to get the likes up, and make sure to please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 300 here. Let's get to 300. Simple as that. So, what are your thoughts on it, Oliver, as well, about the striker situation?
I wouldn't mind giving Jackson a chance. I mean, granted, I haven't watched him at all, pretty much, but if he has the qualities that people say he has, then it should work out. I mean, amongst what you guys have all said about, like, you want someone that can maybe fashion their own chances a bit more. One of the key things for me is just let's have a guy that can keep the ball, because, like, I don't know, but recently, I don't know about you guys, but recently, like, our wingers and our strikers, they just cannot keep the ball for their lives. That's why we suffer so many transitions, and it's just terrible. Man. So if we can have that at the very least, that will help us out to a huge degree. And, I don't mind Broja. Like, he is nowhere near ready to start for us at all. Like, he looked raw coming off the bench last season for the few months that he was actually fit.
Yeah.
And he's now coming off an ACL injury. He might lose a bit of pace, so might be even worse off. So, we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I wouldn't rush into anything at the moment. We have Jackson. Let's just hope it goes well. If the attributes are good, then hopefully that manifests. And then if we have a problem, then just go into the market in January.
Fair enough. I just think, again, with the strike situation, the market is very hard right now, if you know what I mean. Like,
a lot of the best, awful, man.
Yeah, a lot of like the ones that you would really appreciate are already contracted down for a few years. The ones that are currently available all have things that they are missing in their game as well. And it's quite difficult anyway when it comes to the market anyway. So it's better to stick with our guns. And plus, man, we know what happened the last time we spent 100 million on a striker in it. So it's a best to
we're gonna get onto him soon.
Oh, we're gonna get a tip. So I'm gonna bust him. Listen, he's jokes, man. He's honestly, he's the funniest guy I've met, man. Lukaku, man. Oh my lord, genuinely. Moving on, actually, I just actually want to talk about this one quickly, which is on my good friend Mike Dean, which is that it's the end of an era, lads. It's the end of an era. Mike Dean has essentially quit VAR, and he's no longer going to be a new referee for us. So, end of an era. End of an era indeed.
Let's get some violins in the chat.
Bro, what we need is Anthony Taylor, bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to hit different. Oh, my God.
When Anthony Taylor retires, I'll be running through the streets with my butt cheeks out. I can't lie. Pause, but still.
Bro.
I stand by it.
My God, my Lord.
Cheeks out.
Listen, it's not that deep, honestly.
Nah, it's that deep. I hate that, man. It's that deep. Man's dashed away so many trophies for us in such a short span of time. I actually despise that man. Oh my!
He was on VAR for the Cucurella hair pull, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Was he the
VAR?
Mike Dean?
It was Mike Dean.
He wasn't the on pitch. He was the VAR.
That's crazy.
The on pitch was Taylor.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Who was it then? No. I'm trying to think about who it was quickly, but you know what? Yeah, listen, man. We'll move on quickly. And, listen, man, let's talk about this topic, the goalkeeper situation. So, some of the news that's come out for the goalkeeping situation, Adrian You never know. A lot of these referees are actually going to Saudi because they get paid better. Like the Premier League refs don't get paid that much. I think it's only like £1,000 a game they get paid. Fun fact. Referees in the UK. So that's actually, yeah, bro. So they don't even get paid that much. I'll be real. So you can't even blame them on some level because these guys ain't getting a piece of the pie. That's why what's his called? What's his name? You know the one that's like the young Michael Oliver was that doing Saudi games where he was refereeing. So that's actually a big fact. So listen, let's move on to the goalkeeping situation. So obviously there's been some news in regards to Kepa, and it seems that he might be going off to Paris Saint-Germain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Hopefully, touch wood, this happens actually. And apparently Enrique is not a big fan of Donnarumma's ball playing ability. But then apparently the three that he's looking at is David De Gea, no ball playing ability, Hugo Lloris, very little ball playing ability, and then there's Kepa Arrizabalaga who's got ball playing ability. So
does he know?
Listen, I don't care if he does not. Bro, I don't care if he doesn't know or doesn't know.
No. I'm talking about De Gea and Lloris about the ball playing ability.
Like, I can't believe when I saw that, man. I was like,
nah, the De Gea one doesn't make sense because Luis Enrique literally would give up a kidney before playing David De Gea. Like he literally played Unai Simon religiously for the last Euros and the last World Cup before he quit the Spain national team.
He also called up Kepa. He called up Robert Sanchez. He also called up David Raya over De Gea.
Bro, he said De Gea was number 8 choice. He said De Gea was number 8 choice, bro.
Yeah, so the De Gea links don't make sense. The only reason that would make sense is because big name, and it's PSG and they can afford his wages. But other than that, on a football sense, it doesn't make any sense. If you don't rate Donnarumma's ball playing ability, there's no way you're looking to De Gea, who has literally zero composure with the ball whatsoever, whether he's being pressed or not. Whether the striker who's supposed to be pressing De Gea is on the halfway line or in fucking Narnia, he's not picking out a proper pass. He's fucked up so many passes with zero pressure on him. Imagine him in a Luis Enrique system where they like to have the ball, where the goalkeeper likes to have the ball. If he's in an Onana situation, that ball's going in the back of the net 20 times out of 10. So I don't know. So the De Gea links don't make sense in the sense of Luis Enrique wants him or Luis Enrique likes him because he's Spanish or something like that. It only makes sense for the reason that PSG are probably one of the only teams who are willing and able to pay for David De Gea's wages because he was one of the highest paid players in the Premier League as a goalkeeper, which makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, man. I don't know what Enrique is eating. I do think that the Kepa rumors might be true. You never know, man. Let's make that happen.
Has anyone here actually watched Donnarumma that much? Because I'm just asking because I want to know, what do you guys think of his ball playing ability if you actually watched him?
So I actually don't think his ball playing ability. The reason why what's his name, Enrique doesn't want him. Since his move essentially from AC Milan to PSG, Donnarumma has not been a good GK, and honestly, he's been awful. Been making crazy mistakes. He's not been a good GK at all.
Funnily enough, his biggest mistake was actually an on-the-ball bozo moment in the Champions League against Madrid, wasn't it?
Yep, literally. So he's not been a good goalkeeper. Even though they did get him on a free, he has not been. He's not been a great goalkeeper. He's gone on a downward spiral since his move to PSG. So
no, the man robbed Mendy of his Yashin trophy and then just stunk up the place right out.
You know what's crazy? Just quickly, Oliver, because Jacob has actually confirmed this to me as well.
Oh.
Remember Navas? Navas was the previous goalkeeper was doing bits, and they dropped him for Navas. And
Navas has been done dirty twice. I mean, granted, Courtois is world class, but they had Navas there at Madrid, and they replaced him with Courtois when it wasn't really necessary.
But
and then they did the same. They did the same thing at PSG though. Got in Donnarumma, and then they tried to rotate them and give them both minutes. It's just a shambles.
No, but the thing is, Oliver, I think it's understandable with the Navas and Courtois because Courtois honestly was the one he's probably, in my opinion, better than Navas anyway. And he's like a top 3 GK. And you know what Real Madrid is like? They always want these Galacticos. So if they can get Courtois, of course they're gonna go and get him as quickly as possible. So,
I guess so. It's just kind of mad though. You know, he did a 3-peat and he was still a good goalkeeper, and it's ruthless, isn't it?
it's Real Madrid, bro. That's
That's the thing. Yeah.
We did the same to Czech. Czech was actually pretty decent when we let him go. Well, even though he did go through downward.
He wanted to go though, didn't he?
Yeah, because we didn't, because like Mourinho was ruthless. He told Czech, "You're going to be on the bench from now on." Courtois on top.
Yeah.
So it literally we did the same to Czech essentially. So
All right, fair.
Yeah, but I mean, I watch PSG. Me and some of my boys. We watch PSG on a regular, man. But Donnarumma, that whole PSG backline is quite literally cancer to watch. It's absolutely horrible to watch them play from the back, watch them try to move the ball into midfield, watching Donnarumma like face shots. I mean, he's a worse shot stopper than Kepa, man. Like, you know how bad it gets. You know how bad it gets when I'm saying Kepa's a better shot stopper than somebody else. Like, it's that bad, man. He's poor with the ball, makes way too many mistakes. Like, he's indecisive with his decision making, and I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the reason why the whole PSG defense just like lacks any confidence in themselves to move the ball. But you know, remember when what was it? Remember when we were transitioning from Kepa to Mendy when Mendy first came in.
Yep.
Bless you. Yeah. So remember how we were when Mendy first signed and we were betting him in, or we just dropped Kepa straight away, and all of a sudden our defense just looks.
It was instant. Yeah.
Yeah, it was instant. That's the kind of effect that Donnarumma is, the Kepa like transition effect, where you replace him and it just instantly seems a lot better because there's a lot more confidence from the defense in their goalkeeper. So so when you know how Silva is like technically short for a left back. He's 5'11", and I think our tallest defender at the time was
Zuma? Rudiger?
Probably Zuma. I'm pretty sure Zuma is taller than Rudiger.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, Zuma's I think like 6'5" or 6'4", something like that. And he had the best jumping ability, but we were still like messing up with set pieces and so on. So when we brought in Mendy instead of Kepa, and Kepa's literally just as tall as Silva, or slightly taller, like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And that's seen as short for a goalkeeper. So when we brought in Mendy, who is what, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and he's willing to go up for the ball, he's willing to come out for the ball, he's willing to put his body on the line for the ball at those times. That's why our defense looks so much better for that period under Lampard, and then for that other period under Tuchel, when we just looked like we were the best team in the world from a defensive standpoint. Like, no team could break us down very easily. We'd hold the ball religiously. Like, it was peak for other teams when it came to like playing on the transition against us, and that's why they always put low blocks up against us. Because yes, our build-up play was weak, but they couldn't attack us. They were just pinned back basically.
Yep. So guys, just quickly. Just sorry to cut you off, Jared, bro. I got something funny. The Bayern, so Bayern's like temporary CEO because, like, as you know, Hansi Flick, or Slamahadovic and the legendary goalkeeper who was like the CEOs got sacked.
Oliver Kahn.
Oliver Kahn, right? They both got sacked, right? But anyway, as we know, Bayern have been trying to get essentially Harry Kane. They've been doing some bids and everything. This guy has been coming out of some brazy quotes. He said Harry Kane now wants to play in European competitions. Tottenham won't be there next season. We will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there.
Someone queue up the Guardiola meme.
Yo, he has another chance to
We
join
will
a
be
top
there.
European club. This is jokes, man. Oh my lord.
that.
Yo, by the way, did you guys see you know the EA Sports FC 24
Yeah.
the trailers when it was showing the Premier League clubs, they were all scoring against Spurs.
Yeah, it was. It just
That's
scored against
ridiculous.
Spurs.
Yeah. That's
Spurs
ridiculous.
are like literally like they used to be Chelsea actually, ironically, you know what I mean? It used to be crazy. That used to be us like 2 seasons ago in 22 or 21 when we were under Lampard, but yeah.
That is jokes, man.
Look,
That is
what we
jokes.
like these are even more like what we really liked about Harry Kane is his agents, his father, brother. They're very pleasant people. So far, Kane's camp always stood by their promise. If that stays, then it's okay. Yeah, bro, Laura, he's saying, you know, he's basically saying when Harry Kane has very clearly signaled that his decision was made. If he keeps his word, we will sign him. Tottenham will have to give up. We have to get an asking price from Levy. Rummenigge speaks to him regularly. He added via Kerry Howe. That's like a very top German journalist from Bild, if I'm not mistaken. So
Well, this guy's coming out with chest.
no, but he used to be the former Bayern CEO. He only came back because the other guys got sacked in it. So
Man said we will be there. That's crazy.
He said we will be there and Tottenham will have to give up. Bruh.
Yo, that's
Man
big
said
club.
don't have
Yo,
that kind of power.
League is not breaking down, man. Listen, League is not breaking down, man. Listen, I hate that guy.
Levy doesn't shake bum for nobody.
Yeah, he's a
actually
dickhead,
man.
man. Only Real Madrid. He shakes bum for Real Madrid, innit? But no other club. It's Real Madrid. He shakes the bum for, literally.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Real Madrid. You can't tell Real Madrid no. Like, there's just no way.
We gave him the asking price, and he said no. So, listen, man, I hate that guy so much. We could have had Modric in our team. Modric, Kante. I would have been there.
Crazy.
But listen, guys.
Imagine Modric right now. That's
You know what? Listen, let's move on to someone that's been signed recently. Oh my god, some of this Lukaku stuff that's just come out right now is crazy. You know how some of the stuff I've seen about Lukaku.
That's funny.
Bro, I'm making it the final topic, bro, because that shit is hilarious, bro. Some of the stuff I've seen. That is obviously the confirmed signing of Diego Moreira. He is a winger from Portugal, under 21. He's come from Benfica on a free transfer. I don't even know if this guy's going to be part of the starting team or if he's a Strasbourg, you know what I mean, boy. We will see on that one. This is some of the pictures that came out today.
I mean, I'll tell you what, he is getting quite a lot of like coverage on the club media. So read into that as much as you will, but just pointing it out.
Bro,
apparently he was the best player coming out of the academy he was coming from. I think it's Benfica, right?
Yeah, the Benfica Academy, yeah.
Yeah, we got him for free from there, yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's the best player to come out, or one of the best players, or the best player at the time to come out of the academy. Even though he hadn't played many first team minute games, he was their best academy player. Lots of Benfica fans, I mean, yeah, they're salty with us for nabbing Enzo on that. But a lot of them, before we even did all that Enzo stuff, they were saying he's next up. So it's probably promising, and I hope he goes to Strasbourg because I mean,
doesn't him and Angel play the same position though?
They're wingers. Angel.
They both play right wing, right?
Anielo or something like that. I think that's how you pronounce it in Portuguese. Anielo. He plays right wing and striker, and then Moreira plays right wing, left wing. So I mean, he could be out on the left, and Anielo is up top or on the right. And I don't remember who their striker is. I think it's
no, they're trying to get the striker. They're trying to get the guy from Montpellier, Eliawahi.
Yeah, so that will probably if Strasbourg, I mean technically us, if we sign Eliawahi and we send Moreira and Angelo over, that would be probably the front three that Strasbourg has, and with Vieira as the coach now, it's probably looking pretty good for Strasbourg and those players.
Honestly, man, I wish we'd got Enzo Lefebvre to come to Strasbourg, bro, because that guy, man, he's hoops, real hoops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's cold. But where did he go? Did he go to?
He went to my other club. You know, the one that I talk about a lot, Stade de Reims. And then he's gonna be
Rennes.
He's gonna be playing. Yeah, he went to Rennes, bro. That's a good team. I can't lie to you, bro. That is a great team. Guidi, Kalou Mendy, It's usually he plays either Doku there or he plays Burigard, but Burigard usually plays in the midfield alongside Maya, and then I actually forgot what their CDM is actually. Damn. But it's then Traore, the Belgian centre back youngster. Their left back is really bad actually. They've got it's good. I think.
Oh yeah,
Truffaut.
Strasbourg signed this new centre back from I think Belgium as well.
Yeah, apparently Chelsea wanted him, so they got Strasbourg to sign him for us. So
yeah, that's calm.
Yeah, man, that's lovely, lovely. Listen, Chelsea, man, we need to relax on the centre backs, though. You know what I'm saying? Got too many centre backs right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of centre backs.
Yeah, a lot of centre backs. You know what I'm saying?
He'll probably be sold for a profit rather than coming to Chelsea afterwards.
I actually want to ask you a quick question. Thanks for letting us know, Adrian. Yeah, much appreciated. So just quick, let's move on quickly. Yeah, obviously the main topic. Yeah, I'm just salivating for. I know everyone here wants to laugh about it, but we're gonna wait just a little bit longer, and that is on the left back situation. Obviously, we've got 3 left backs, which is Chilwell, Cucurella, and Matson. Obviously, the club are open to selling.
Technically, Hall.
Nah, because the thing is, Hall's like main position is centre mid, and he's going out on loan. He's been confirmed.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he plays in the academy. Remember, Trent,
I thought his main position was centre mid. Jared, no.
The
left back was secondary.
No. And for Hall in the academy, his main position is in centre midfield, and he's very good at it in the academy. But when he plays for Chelsea, I think the one time or the 2 times that we played him in midfield, it wasn't looking as good as when he's playing out at left back or left.
He only played in midfield once. It was at Anfield.
Yeah, and it didn't go too well. So putting him out on the left back position or the left wing back position, we already see what he's capable of. He was running that whole left side, even though the only times we played him was against Man City and stuff. He was running that left hand side and whipping in passes like it's nobody's business. Like, and I don't know what level Hall will get to in his career, but I make this comparison purely just because of the type of journey they have. But when Trent was in the Liverpool academy, he was apparently a centre mid as well. But when Klopp brought him to the first team, he wasn't playing in midfield at first, compared to right now when he is playing in midfield. But he's a lot more developed than when he first came into the Liverpool squad. But he was playing right back, and we already saw what Trent can do at right back. So I'm thinking maybe Hall could be able to do something similar, not probably to the same level, because Trent's Trent. But I mean, Hall put him at left back, even though he's a good centre mid for the academy, and Trent was a good centre mid for the academy. But put him at left back or put him at full back, give him that level of space, that level of that amount of time, then you could probably see something really good. I don't think so. Hall at left back is pretty good. Yeah, he's like 17, bro. He's literally still trying to do GCS.
You might mean on the defensive end.
Yeah, maybe. Defensively. I think from an attacking point of view, he's very good. From that
defensively, obviously, because Hall is more of an advanced 8 when he's playing for the academy. So when you put him in the Premier League and you put an attacking centre mid from an academy perspective in the Premier League and put him at left back and expect him to do good at left back or relatively well at left back is quite mad to say. That's why I like him at left back, because he obviously has the DM and the centre back and one of the centre backs to cover it. Or when he's playing in the left wing back, he also has 2 centre backs plus the DM to help him. So offensively, yeah, he's amazing or pretty good for his age, because he's again 17, 18 years old. Man's not out of high school yet. And just like Trent is very poor defensively, but he had Van Dijk behind him, he had Konate behind him, he had Matip behind him, and you saw what he did going forward. So if we're able to get that kind of output or a similar level of output from Hall at his young age and develop him, and then once we move up a bit more, or once he grows a bit more as a player, then we'll see what happens if he moves to midfield or he stays at left back and what happens from then. But I'd like to say Hall is, in a first team sense, one of our left backs. But I mean, I still think, Chilwell, Matson, Cucurella, I did not like Cucurella at all, man.
I think he's going. I'll be real. I don't think Cucurella stays at the football club. I think he's going to be. I think
I
he's going
want him going, but I don't think he'll go this season. I think he'll probably go
on loan.
On loan, and we'll see how it works, or we'll keep him.
Mm-hmm.
And if Poch wants to use him, then he'll use him. If not, then so be it. But I think he's training with the main group anyways.
Yep, he is.
He's not in the outer group, so I'm gonna be assuming that Poch wants to work with him, and he wants to work with Poch. So we'll see how the first games of preseason goes out. Whether Matson starts, whether Hall starts, whether Chilwell starts, which I think he more than likely will, because apparently he was the best performer from the GACON test or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but whatever. He was the highest scorer in that, and obviously Chilwell is just, I guess, more advanced in the left back role compared to Cucurella in terms of experience, in terms of in comparison to Matson and Hall as well. Yeah. But I prefer Matson though.
Yeah, I definitely do think that we're probably gonna have Chilwell as the main one, and then Matson competing. I think that's what I think is gonna probably happen. I think Cucurella, I've heard the idea of maybe a loan with an obligation, or like a loan with an option to buy. I think it will probably happen for him. I think compared to the others, I just think it's probably a bit more harder when it comes to him to like move him on. I would argue, in my opinion.
Yeah, purely because of the price that we signed him for,
and the wages probably we gave him as well. Because he's a summer signing. Like the wages wise, I think he might have been a bit more of an issue as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on that, Oliver? Would you agree with that? Chilwell, Matson probably being the backup.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I've said this on a previous stream before. They are the two fullbacks at the club currently that suit a Poch system the best, as having two attacking fullbacks on, playing on either side. Mm-hmm. Cucurella isn't that. His crossing is, it flatters to deceive. He's really a more defensive player, so it doesn't really fit the bill. And he can't play as a left centre back in a back four either, so that's pretty useless. So, it can only really end one way from here unless there's some drastic change, which is that would be unprecedented. So, it would make sense to go in with Chilwell, Matson, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't really even know who the interested parties are right now in terms of who could do a loan, but just wait and see.
I know Newcastle, Atletico are interested apparently in Cucurella.
For permanent deal or loan?
But both permanent and loan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're interested in a permanent deal in terms of Newcastle, but they want to do half the price that we paid for them.
They want 30 million basically,
which is maximum 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the max. They're saying. I think a report was saying 25 to 30 million euros, something like that. So I don't know. I think like what Jacob's saying in the chat. I think Cucurella is much better than Chilwell defensively. The problem is Cucurella's speed. It's not the best, but you should be able to compensate for your lack of speed in comparison to another player with your positioning. And I don't think his positioning and his awareness is always on point like that enough to warrant him to stay another season as a starting left back, as well as going forward. We know Poch likes to attack. He likes to press high and keep the ball on the other side of the field and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And meaning we're going to be piling so much pressure that Reece James and whoever the left back is going to be are going to be piling in crosses, trying to get a high volume of chances into the box for the striker and stuff like that. But Cucurella's crossing is horrific, in my opinion, for a left back or for a guy who plays out wide and occasionally gets the chance to cross and stuff like that. It's pretty poor, and his offensive movement it's not that good as well. So Chilwell is always the better attacking fullback, but Cucurella is always the better defensive fullback.
The one thing I'd just like to add quickly is that even if we do sell Cucurella, I just want to add that this doesn't, or at least this shouldn't mean that Chilwell gets away scot-free, because he was not good enough last season. So,
that's true, but
we're basing Cucurella off one season. We need to hold Chilwell to the same standard. He was not good enough last season. Our best left back was Lewis Hall. It's not like Chilwell was miles better than Cucurella. As a matter of fact, they were probably about the same in terms of like in general as an average level. So, we gave Chilwell a 2-year contract extension. Fair enough. But, he's got to start performing now. He's got to start getting over this injury or whatever. He needs to improve the fitness and he needs to start performing consistently again.
100%.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm pretty sure it was what's it called? An ACL injury. That's career-defining injury.
And then the other one, then he had another injury after the ACL, if you remember as well. So
yeah, he also had another one after. And to be honest, an ACL injury never fully heals. It never does. And it's one of those injuries that literally haunts players for time and time again. So yes, Chilwell definitely has to step it up because he was pissing me off a lot, and he has been pissing me off for time. But you have to take that with a grain of salt and with a bit of context, in the sense that an ACL injury is so career-defining, especially in the context of Chelsea players, where we see Loftus-Cheek, possibly Broja, how he turns out afterwards, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. The history that Chelsea players have and ACL injuries is not looking very good. And I'm pretty sure Reece James had an ACL injury or something close to that. Something very, very career-defining, almost. And we see what the level is. Yes, he's still Reece James that we know and love, that can deliver great passes, and he's very good offensively and stuff. But he's getting injured so much that we're taking precautionary. He's feeling pain in his knee now, and we're doing these precautionary scans to make sure that he's able to even go on preseason with us, even after not playing so many games at the back end of the season. So it's just that hope. That it's the hope that kills you, honestly. But honestly, Chilwell does need to step it up. I agree.
Yep,
but we just have to take it with a bit of context as well. But I'm still, I mean, £52 million on a left back, and he's supposed to be England's starting left back, but he's still getting put out by Shaw. But to an extent, not fully your fault, but still, he has to perform still, man.
Okay, guys, let's move on to the main topic. I mean, the main event of the evening. Listen, man, let's start. So yesterday, I'm not sure what time it is because it doesn't usually Twitter doesn't tell you what time the tweet is unless you open it up properly. So listen, yesterday we had the news that Rock Nation Sports have now got involved in negotiations to try and break the impasse between Chelsea and Inter Milan for Romelu Lukaku. Yep, I do agree on that one, discreetly, Adrian. That's why we got Gusto, and Gusto's a top talent as well. So hopefully, he's able to, come in for Reece James. But let's get on to the main meal. Obviously, Rock Nation clearly didn't save him, did it? Rock Nation didn't save Lukaku. And then DiMarzio came out last night saying Romelu Lukaku gives a strong opening to join Juventus. Inter are very annoyed with his attitude. Lukaku is not responding to Inter Milan, so he's not even taking the calls at all. He said the phone's off. Juventus have offered 37.5 million in base fee plus 2.5 bonuses to sign Lukaku. However, the offer of the Bianconeri is conditioned by the sale of Vlahovic by August the 4th, but Inter have already to sign him now for 35 million plus 5 million in add-ons.
I can't lie. Whichever one, just take it and run. I don't care.
Yeah, Lukaku is not responding to Inter Milan at all, apparently. So he's not even responding to the Inter manager at all. Inter Milan could lead the Lukaku race if Lukaku does not respond to them in the next hours. Lukaku spoke to Juventus through his lawyers. And then 6 hours ago, which is at 1 p.m. Oh, no, so it's now 8 o'clock. So no, yes. So at 2 p.m., Inter Milan have pulled out of the Romelu Lukaku race due to the player negotiating Juventus. It's over between Lukaku and Inter. And then obviously this is the quote that Lukaku said 2 years ago: "If Juventus or AC Milan will call me in the future, never, again, Never. It's never gonna happen. Juventus wanted me before Inter, but when Conte joined Inter, it was my priority to join them. In Italy, there's only Inter for me.
Man's capping. That's crazy.
And then Lukaku started to negotiate with Juventus as Inter were preparing to play the Champions League final. So he was doing this behind their back while they were preparing to win a UCL.
The biggest game of his career as well.
That is crazy. Inter
Blimey.
sport director informed Lukaku now in a 30-second phone call that he is not in their plans anymore. Chelsea want Lukaku to leave the club, and new coach Mauricio Pochettino has never spoken to him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. He said, "No, we're not listening to you." And then here's some other news. Apparently, hopefully it's come on. No, I need to change actually. Once let me reload the other screen quickly so that we can get him. Oh, sorry. Bear with me, guys. I think this is the one. And then this is like an Inter insider that's for Sky Sports Italy. Inter had reached an agreement with Chelsea from Lukaku. They only needed a yes from Lukaku. He was untraceable for 2 to 3 days.
That's crazy.
Yo, man, I cannot lie to you guys. This guy is a joke, man. This guy is actually a joke, man. Bro, you know, he ruined the Chelsea club and everything, yeah, because of this, yeah. Bro, he's kissed all the badges, bro. He's kissed all the badges, Jacob. This guy is a habitual badge kisser. The reason apparently he's going to Juve now is because Juve is offering a bigger bag, apparently. That's the reason why he's going to their club. Honestly, bro, he does. He does love being the villain. And the thing is, bro...
He thinks he's the main character, but that's the
Bro, he's not the main character, bro.
His ego is way too inflated for the player he is. That's the problem. He's accumulated so much money off of transfer fees alone. He's the most expensive player in terms of transfer fees ever, which is like around 300 mil or something like that.
Bro,
in accumulated transfer fees. And this guy thinks he's some hot shit now. It's weird. It's weird behavior. It's weird behavior. That's the problem. Because like,
bro, honestly,
he doesn't show up when his team needs him. He has Megan Thee Stallion flying in from the US to Italy, and now he thinks he's worth more than he is. Like the man bagged Megan Thee Stallion and thinks he's the main character now. Somebody needs to put him in his place. Like something's wrong with him. Like habitually wrong with him. Because he's comparing himself to strikers like Suarez, this and that, talking about he's a multifaceted striker before coming to Chelsea, and then he rolls in and he moves like a big dirty lamppost, and he's just standing around like he can't move. Like
Jared, honestly, this guy is a criminal. I'm gonna be so real with you, you know. Like he's the biggest criminal I've seen. Like his game's not changed since he started football. Look at this history of his career. Missed the penalty which cost Chelsea the Super Cup against Bayern. Joins United from Everton, becomes overweight and gets sold the following season. Scores an own goal in the Europa League final and costs Inter in the CL final. Snakes Chelsea for Inter Milan. Snakes Inter Milan for Juventus. Gets Belgium knocked out of the World Cup. The most expensive player of all time and will cost over 300 million in transfer fees. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds, bro? Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
That's tap. The fact that he's able to accumulate 100+ million transfers for the career he's had, purely based on what he's one of the top. He was a good goal scorer in the Premier League because he played for Everton and bagged their goals. He goes to Man United, stinks it up, then goes to Inter, gets a couple goals, does a little celebration with Martinez, comes back to Chelsea for 100 and something M's, stinks it up, goes back to Inter Milan after doing some interview, and then he gets to play in the Champions League final, the biggest game he'll ever play in his life. He stinks it up, and now he thinks he can just command fees like this and command like wages and make demands and all that type of stuff. Like it's weird.
Bro, honestly, he is oh my god, Lukaku is a money laundering scheme. I think he got a feeling that Inter would sign him from Chelsea and then flip him for profit to Saudi in a couple of years. You know where he's also like apparently he's angry at his representation because apparently he's blaming his representation now for what's happening at Inter Milan. By the way, actually, so this guy, man, he will blame anyone but himself.
Hey, I just want to say, this is the same guy that when he did his interview for Sky Italia, he didn't consult his representation. They were the ones that give you the kind of advice on how you present yourself in the media and what opportunities you take. He didn't even consult them. He let Sky Italia into his home or apartment or wherever on his own whim without even consulting these guys. So, you know, it's deflection, like you say. Oh my God.
He wants to be an independently managed person, but wants to have the PR team behind him to just back his every move. And I hate that word PR so much right now because of football Twitter, but like it's just what it is. It's just this level of delusion that he wants to be treated the same way as other players and get the same kind of recognition as other players by doing whatever the fuck he feels like.
Exactly.
And then when he does something stupid and it comes back to backfire on him, he's gonna blame everybody but himself. And then he wants the media to back his decision every time because he's his own person, or he's the most expensive player in history because he's accumulated so many transfer fees, or he's this supposedly proven goal scorer, or look at me, I'm causing bidding wars between two Italian rivals, or this or that, or something like that. It's his ego that's way too inflated for who he is, and I don't know who around him is allowing him to think like this, but he needs to. If he had any like level of self-respect left about him, he cut them off right now, man.
Honestly, you know what makes this situation worse here? Listen, don't get me wrong. Italy, and when it comes to Italian football, there's a lot of racism going on there, bro. This guy was getting racially abused in Juventus, and now he's going to the club that racially abused him. You know how ironic that is.
Yeah, that's actually kind of wild. That's wild.
Bro, do you remember that? Do you remember that when he got sent off? Like,
yeah,
I can't.
Man did.
And the Quadrado and him were fighting.
He just did this, and then like they were racially abusing him, and then he got red carded for being racially abused, and then he walks off the pitch or something, and now he's going to the ops that were racially abusing him. It's not making sense.
Apparently, they offer him the bigger wages. That's why.
Yeah, but like, wasn't he gonna get that bare money going to Saudi or something, and he rejected them because he wants to stay in Europe or something?
He's an Italy merchant. He's just an Italy merchant. Like, he doesn't, he's burned every bridge in Europe that he had. The only places that he could go to that he hasn't been to yet, in terms of a top 5 league, you've only got France and Germany and Spain. And Spain, yeah. But like, is a Spanish club going to take him? No, they demand more technical ability from their strikers. France, the only viable club is PSG. They're going to get Vlahovic. And in Germany, you've only got Bayern. They're going for Kane.
Yeah, Bayern not going to go for him. Tuchel's not going to.
And Tuchel, I forgot. Yeah, Tuchel's there. I forgot.
Tuchel's not going to work with Lukaku twice.
Hey, to be fair, Lukaku won't work with Tuchel either, so the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual, man, but still.
Listen, we've talked a lot about Lukaku right now, but I want to just talk about Inter Milan right now. They can hold that. Like, I almost admire Lukaku for doing this, because I couldn't think of a club that deserved this more than Inter Milan. They want to say that they're frustrated about the attitude of this player. How do they think they felt after fleecing us 100 million and then him going on Sky Italia? Like, honestly, I just can't believe that they would feel like that, that they can fleece us like that. And at the end of the day, it's not really their loss, because he is still our problem. And if the Vlahovic thing doesn't go through the way we need it to, in order for Juventus to come in, then it's still our problem. But hey, they wanted him, so they can hold that. They deserve it. Couldn't think of a better club for it to happen to be rejected like that and to be snaked.
But to be honest, if I'm being honest, like, Vlahovic is probably going to PSG now, because like the fact they're already agreed personal terms of him. PSG, these guys are just gonna throw money at their problems and they don't care what happens afterwards. So that one, I think, is probably going to be
Hey,
more than London.
well, that's perfect then. Let's just hope Lukaku doesn't 180 5 minutes before he signs his Juve contract.
Because Inter's already spoken to him and said we don't want it anymore. So you can't even go back now. You
No,
can't
no,
turn around.
no. I'm saying. Let's hope he doesn't 180 on his Juventus contract when he signs that.
Yeah, saying, yo, Martinez, stay there. I'll be back soon. Like man's doing Sky Sports.
You know how ironic that interview is now? That interview is so ironic. Just quickly, apparently Conor Gallagher is the subject of transfer speculation with Tottenham Hotspur among those keen to sign him, according to Martin Samuel of Time Sport.
Yeah,
We will be there.
But I'll be there still. I'll be there when he leaves.
I will not be there. I will not be there. I'm just kidding. But
Postecoglou, he's your man. Postecoglou, he is your man.
But again, I think the Gallagher transfer again, in my eyes, is just dependent on the sale of Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg. If Højbjerg goes, then they're gonna get Gallagher. So you got to pray that Højbjerg gets sold. Like a Saudi club comes in for him or something.
That's
like
a weird replacement. I can't lie.
Yeah, replacing.
That's the reason. That's the guy they want him to replace in it. So
I don't particularly rate Højbjerg, but that's just weird.
That is like the drastic difference in the profiles of Gallagher and Højbjerg is what's baffling me. It doesn't make any sense in any football sense. Not wage wise, not football ability wise, not positional wise, not skill set wise. There's no reason why you should be selling Højbjerg and using Gallagher as a replacement. The only thing Gallagher has over Højbjerg is literally running ability.
Big up Rashi 10, bro. Big up Rashi 10. Hey.
Have Spurs even got a number 6? Or like they got Bissouma and Skip, but
they got
Skip, Højbjerg. Yeah.
They got Bissouma, Skip, Højbjerg. They got Bentancur.
I thought Bentancur was an 8, but
yeah, Bentancur is an 8, man.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what Ange is doing here. Like, what's his setup going to be? Because you'd assume, like, if he gets Gallagher, you'd assume the starting midfield would be a DM or whoever that may be, and you have the 8s as like Bentancur and Gallagher, maybe. You
never know, bro. Maybe he's got a plan to make Gallagher the new false 9. You know, the new number 6. Sorry.
Apparently, Postecoglou, he plays a 4-2-3-1. So the only way I can even see Gallagher working is as the more advanced 6 or.
Postecoglou plays a 4-3-3.
He plays a 4-3-3. I thought it was.
He can play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. It's really up to him.
Yeah, his Celtic formation was 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's playing either as an advanced 8 or a 10 in a 4-2-3-1. One of them.
Yeah.
But Gallagher's not the type of player you want in the 10 or a player that you want running your midfield either. So I don't know how that's gonna work. And apparently, does Postecoglou play like counter attack?
He's a possession manager.
Yeah, he's possession.
Exactly. That's why we laugh at this move. It makes no sense.
Man, listen. I don't care, bro. If he wants Gallagher, let him take Gallagher, bro. Let him take Gallagher.
Actually, he can take him. You can have him.
To be fair, Crystal Palace did the same thing. But Crystal Palace were playing possession football under Vieira, and they were using Gallagher somehow. So if he thinks he can do it like that, then let him do it, bro.
Oh boy.
I mean, were they giving him the ball a lot?
They technically were. He was like their enforcer in the midfield. So
what are we talking about? I missed something clearly.
We're talking about Palace.
I was just saying how Palace were under Vieira playing possession football with Gallagher. It was just that with him that he was like the what's it called, the pressing enforcer essentially. But that's pretty much it.
He just led the press.
I mean, to be honest as well, with the kind of teams that Palace come up against or the way they set up, it's going to be a more open game. Gallagher against a low block, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen, just in general.
Just hearing the words low block.
Oh my lord!
That is the wildest statement I've ever had to listen to.
Yo, look at this. Some report came out today saying this, which came out actually. I think it came out right now. Actually, sorry, 1 hour ago, from the Times Sport by Martin Samuel, which is Chelsea seem to be selling according to who comes in. If they needed 10 off the books, it's as if the first 10 offers through the door win. What is the plan? Oh my God, here we go
What do you
again.
mean? What is the plan? The plan is to get these niggas out. What are you talking about? Like, what is there to discuss? You say we have a bloated
Hey,
squad. You say
I'm
we have a bloated squad, and we get rid of the bloated squad with the unwanted players, and now all of
Mm.
a sudden we have no plan. Like, what do you want from us? Do you
this
want
this
us?
this is what they do. You know, if
Mm.
you know the squad's too big, then we sell. The squad's too small. They say we don't give youth a chance. We're giving youth a chance now. Oh, it looks like an under 23 squad. Like,
We
come on,
have
make up
no
your mind here.
we have no experience. How are you gonna compete with zero experience? Blah 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 blah. Like, it doesn't make any
And
sense.
yeah, oh, hey, how are you going to compete with no experience? You were just praising Arsenal 5 minutes
Honestly, yeah.
ago.
Bro,
Yeah, they were
listen,
literally just jiggling Batty for Arsenal because Martinelli and Saka and them man were running the league for a little bit and then fumble it at the end. Unless you're saying that there needs to be a mixture or something like that, at least say that and make something sensible out of it. Don't just say one thing and then switch the narrative when we do the thing you said that we do. You tell us we have a big squad and no manager can work with it. You need to get rid of it.
exactly.
We get rid of players. Oh, because three of them went to Saudi where we're committing fraud or some stupid shit
Bro,
like that.
Fabinho is about to go there for £40 million, bro. They can't
Yeah,
trash him to us.
Jamie Carragher, you there, bro?
No, I don't even care about that nonsense, bro. Honestly, I just think at the end of the day, bro, it just writing. It's just another nothing article where it's just being written for written sake. Like there's
At this
literally
point,
been like these guys. They don't either watch Chelsea. They don't understand what's been going on at the football club, and they just write from what they see, and that's what really annoys me, bro.
it's not even what they see, but when you look at it from the outside in, anybody with half a brain cell can tell that Chelsea are doing the right thing and in the step in the right direction. We're planning for the future. We're working on our academy. Yeah, we have young players, but as they used to say, if you're good enough, you're old enough. So when you're a player and you're young, but you're still performing, when Bellingham was running midfields at 16 in Birmingham, and then he went to Dortmund. Everyone was like, "What a good signing for Dortmund!" This, that, and the other. He's 19 now, and he's gone to Real Madrid to be a possible starting center mid, alongside the likes of like all time greats like Modric and Cruz. And then when Chelsea signed Enzo, oh, it's a signing because of hype or because of his World Cup performance. He won't be able to recreate it. Or we're signing Caicedo because Arsenal just wanted him, or because he has all this hype around him because he was in an
Hey,
exciting team.
I've got a more direct one. So when Liverpool,
He literally wrote this 6 months ago. But Chelsea could be putting together a title-winning team.
well, listen, I got an even more direct comparison in terms of just the way they talk about Chelsea. Like, so you guys remember in 2020, Liverpool won the Club World Cup, right?
Yeah.
ESPN they started a debate off the back of that. You know, at the time, were Liverpool the best team in the world? When Chelsea win the Club World Cup, ESPN send Craig Burley on to call it a tin pot trophy.
Bush.
There you go.
That's
Well, this is why, bro. Listen, at the end of the day, man, this is what really annoys me. I get tired of like this nonsense that's being spoken about, particularly when it comes to Chelsea Football Club or anything in general, man. Like honestly, like guys, I thought like after Roman left, it'd be a bit more kind to us. But clearly, we're just like the number one ops, bro, around here. But
no, because
we've always been public enemy number one. They don't like us because of how we do things.
Ahmed, it was never going to get any calmer. We literally have inexperienced American owners. These journalists are watching these guys like vultures, and with the xenophobia that exists in the media as well, and combine that with the stuff from the Glazers and all that.
Yeah, with the Glazers at FSG, you know how they are with American owners Americans in general, much less American owners of Premier League football club. You know how they are. Because if we didn't sell to Bully and we sold to, let's say, Ratcliffe or something, then probably the narrative would be a lot different. Because,
God, yeah,
because it's Ratcliffe. He's an Englishman. He's
Nick Candy.
Yeah, Nick Candy. I forgot that guy. Who is he? Where did he come from?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Like Brody.
He's proper Chelsea.
He's proper Chelsea because he's walking around saying that I'll make Chelsea great again. Bro, you are not. No way.
Bro, I'll be several.
Man's doing campaigns in Nottingham and Brighton and that with hats on their head like make Chelsea great again, like MACA on the hat, like it's a Trump campaign or something. Allow it, man. Like he just popped out of nowhere, just stunting that he was a Chelsea fan and he's a long life Chelsea fan and he really wants to buy.
Bro, I think wasn't Radcliffe saying that he was a Chelsea fan as well? Like, and then
what he said is that when he lived in London, he went to Chelsea games. Like he is a United fan, just to be clear.
Okay.
But like, because he's a businessman, he's been in London and he had a Chelsea season ticket.
Yeah, he has a season. He's a religious season ticket holder for Chelsea, but he's a self-proclaimed Man United fan.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because you see how quickly he was ready to jump on the Man United thing when Man United are selling now.
But just quickly, by the way, I know we're going on a massive tangent here, but just while we're on this, Ahmed, do you want to bring up the FFP charges?
They could have catch us.
No, we haven't got FFP charges, right?
No, not for us. Not for us. For a certain club in Manchester.
No, we don't need to bring it up. There's a better one I've got for you guys about that one that I actually saw recently.
Come on, then.
Let me give you the bookmarks. You know what I mean? It's a certain club that were doing the Balangas. You know what I mean? The Balangas. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, I heard about this like an hour ago. I know what you're talking about.
It's not just them that's in trouble. The big boys are in big trouble. This is from
Who that? Oh,
Sam Wallace has got another one for you here. Exclusive. UEFA tell Real Madrid and Barca that Palancas are not FFP compliant. Huge pressure on Barca to pass UEFA FFP in the next cycle. Real's 360 million 6th Street deal, not legitimate income under UEFA. Real Providence deal under fresh scrutiny. Real's Providence deal under fresh scrutiny.
I know this is probably really naive, but what is Palancas?
So you know the Palancas means the levers. You know those levers.
Oh, the levers. Okay.
That's what it means. It's just Spanish for that.
Wait, when were Real Madrid using levers?
You don't hear about Real Madrid. You just don't hear about it from Real Madrid.
Oh, okay.
They're not like crazy noise. They're not like the noisy neighbors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Barca are the noisy neighbors, and then Real Madrid are just them quiet men that just stay by themselves.
Yeah, okay.
Because Barca has like half of Spanish media like on their payroll. Like you have the Twitch streamer guy, you have Relevo, you have Mundo Deportivo, you have all these Spanish publications that release Barca information religiously, like absolutely religiously, rinse and repeat. It's almost like freakishly weird as like Talk Sport and
like generally, you know what it is here. If it's like, you know, obviously we have Man United here. We have got like a lot of journalists essentially that report stuff on like United, right? But imagine that, but times by 10. Like I actually sometimes used to, when I was going like managing Barca last year, when it was in regards to the Koundé deal, there was like 15 different Barca tier ones. 15 different.
Damn.
There were so many sources.
There was way too much, bro. It's literally
way too many. Like
I was just following Romero.
Even Madrid, bro. Even Real Madrid. Yeah, I think it's not even that many. I feel like Real Madrid's like only 5, 6. Like pretty similar to Chelsea, where we have like Law, Tierney, Simon Johnson. Sorry, was it Simon Johnson?
Yeah, Simon Johnson.
And then what, Nathan Gislin,
Nazar Kinsella,
and Nizar. Literally, just 5 guys we've literally got.
Yeah, we literally got 5 guys, and they're not even like Chelsea fans. Like Matt Law's a Villa fan, and Simon Johnson is something else. I think one of them's a Man United fan. Something weird. I think the only Chelsea fan is Liam Toomey, something like that.
Yeah, so it's very hard generally, like in general, like to it's very hard in general, like, but with Barcelona, bro, it's too much. Like the managing Barca account, or like the other guy that usually used to do the Barca stuff that I forgot his name. Like they have too many stuff. But listen, I told you guys before, bro, that Barcelona stuff here was dodgy to begin with. When they started,
it was always dodgy. They've literally sold half their club. Like they sold Barca Studios. They've literally sold out half their stadium, like half their
TV rights,
TV revenues. Yeah,
they sold their TV rights for the next decade or something.
25 years, bro. 25 years. Yes, they sold the TV rights for 25 years.
Man, just realized.
2.5 decades for what?
That's why, bro.
I
These
mean,
man, they're not serious, bro.
How are you giving up 25 years of TV rights money for Rafinha, Kunde, and next man? Like, what is that?
I'll tell you why. It's probably because they thought that they'd have a Super League revival, but now Juventus have left that. It's only Madrid and Barcelona left in that project.
Yeah,
the problem is these guys, they need to win. They need to win the UCL, bro. They need to win.
Barca have to win. Like
they need Ahmed. They need to get out of the group stage first, or whatever.
I know, but they need to win trophies. I understand that, but they actually need to win like trophies.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because otherwise, they're actually how much do they get for winning La Liga?
It's not that much. I'll be real.
I know it's not that much compared to the Prem. The Prem gives you like hundreds of millions.
Bro, they give you that's big fees, that's big fees. I think even UCL is not that much compared to Premier League, money. Actually, I think because like winning the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm looking it up because I have to see this because this is not making any sense. How much will La Liga winners receive? Oh, yeah, they even have Marca as well. Like, what the hell is this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so first place gets 61 M's.
Yeah, so you see,
they look at this 61 M's, but Barca are still weren't Barca like in $1 billion something of debt or $1 billion something euros of debt? Something
so
spooky.
This is let me increase this. This is the Premier League, the whole table. Let me just increase that for everyone to see. So as you can see, Man City won 170 million. They got basically triple. No, was it 60 times by 2, 120? Yeah, it's literally triple, almost triple. It's almost triple the amount.
Wait, what's this? That's prize money, right?
Or TV and look, Southampton, the guys that got relegated, the lowest team, are making double what Barca's making from winning.
So 3 teams that got relegated all made more than twice what Barca makes for winning the league. That's insanity.
Yes.
That's insanity.
But again,
the thing is, Barca have, but La Liga have some really stupid and strict rules. I mean, they have a salary.
It's not even the issue. The issue isn't FFP though. The FFP rules they got isn't that much of a problem. The problem that they have is like how the TV rights money is like allocated. Because in the Premier League it's allocated evenly. In La Liga, 80% goes to Real Madrid and Barcelona.
I know that. Yeah,
and that's crazy because that means the other teams cannot basically compete. Like Atletico are somehow miraculously competing. Villarreal, since they've had Emery, have been miraculously competing. Same with Sevilla, same with like Valencia.
I'm pretty sure Atletico are still in debt from that Felix.
Oh yeah, they're in debt. I love that actually. Ironically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the whole Serie A is in debt. Every single team is.
It's not as bad as the French. The French league, I think, is it's either the French or the Italian league, which is the worst in terms of debt because of what happened.
Italian is definitely the worst. Everybody in the Italian league is in debt, but I think some of the French teams are not.
No, you know what happened with the French teams? It was the TV rights money. I don't know if I told you about that, but they initially got brought by like a Chinese company for like a huge amount of money, but then that Chinese company went bust, and so they were only able to sell the TV rights money for 250 million to Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes, that's why. So that's why they've never been able to. That's why the money they've been making is not great.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But not a lot of people watch the French league. I mean, yeah, I have my subscription that allows me to watch it, but like, I don't be like, nobody's getting up to watch Bordeaux versus Lens or something crazy like that.
Dijon.
Yeah, Dijon.
Fair enough.
Like that's wild, man. But that statement right there, championship making more than win La Liga.
It does. The championship is like the most competitive in the league. I think that's what it's rated as. So it's not surprising to me at the very least.
I think on the competitivity coefficient, they are the most competitive league based on how the teams like are how it finishes. But yeah, I mean it's not. I mean the championship is actually kind of fun to watch. Every now and again, it is really fun to watch sometimes.
But Yeah, going back to just what was going on, and what's taking place. I just think again with like with Real Madrid and Barca, because they essentially sell like the rights to a lot of their stuff. That's how they make the majority of their money. They're not like backed by like companies, or they don't have like an ownership essentially model. So
Yeah, the whole president model, I don't like it,
yeah,
in my personal opinion, but it works for the league, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't like the idea of
because
presidents and how the La Liga is run because it's very limiting. And yeah, there needs to be a limit on certain things, but the way how La Liga limits its teams and
whoa, he'll be
Oh,
back in a second. But I just think quickly, just moving on to what was it? Yeah, with La Liga. But with La Liga, Bundesliga is worse, I think, for me. The 50+1, I get it. I like that fact of like fans having a say to somewhat of an extent. But again, with like the Bundesliga, you look at it, what just Bayern's just winning the league, like 13 in a row, 13 times in a row. It's not a good look, bro, for your league. Honestly.
yeah, damn right.
Damn right. But I think we're gonna call it a day right now. Please make sure again to like and subscribe, and tune in again tomorrow. We're gonna be having a video, hopefully, if there's something that happens tomorrow. Touch wood. But with that, I'm your host with the most, the bridge, signing out. Have a nice one.